In the previous lecture, we discussed about principle of operation of DC generator, in which electrical energy is generated from mechanical energy using single loop generator. And we have seen that the nature of induced EMF in the armature of DC generator is alternating. That is, AC EMF will be generated in the armature of DC generator. But we want DC EMF, DC voltage from DC generators. For converting this alternating induced EMF into into DC voltage, we will use a device called as commutator. Commutator we will use. So commutator converts alternating EMF into direct voltage. So the operation of this commutator we will discuss. In the principle of operation we have seen here we have taken single loop coil, and single loop coil is connected to two copper rings. If you remember, we have connected two ends of these coils to two copper rings. Therefore, we got alternating EMF. But in this case, for converting it into DC voltage, we are splitting one copper ring into two halves. So, copper ring is divided into two halves like this. So, if this is the copper ring, this copper ring is divided into two parts. So in this case, copper ring is divided into two halves like this. So it is divided into two halves here like this. So copper ring now becomes two halves. This is one copper ring. We will call it as R1. This is another half, R2. These two copper rings, half rings are separated with mica insulation. So in between these two, there is no electrical connection. So these are separated. Again, they are joined together. Copper ring is cut into two halves like this. Initially, it is like a ring. Now it is cut into two halves, separate halves. But now they are joined together. But in between two copper rings, there will be mica insulation. So, in between these two copper rings, mica insulation is added. So, this arrangement is mounted on the shaft of single loop generator. So, this single loop coil is mounted on the shaft. On the same shaft, we will mount this two half rings here. So, AB conductor terminal is connected to half ring R1, CD conductor terminal is connected to half ring R2. And as usual, on R1 brush B1 is there, on R2 brush B2 is there. Brush B1 is connected to the load and brush B2 is also connected to the load. Now, if shaft is rotated in anti-clockwise direction, coil rotates in anti-clockwise direction. At the same time, copper half rings also rotates. Copper half rings also rotates along with the coil. Now, in the first half revolution, when AB is here in this position and CD is in this position, induced EMF here is from C to D. We have seen. And induced EMF in conductor AB is from B to A. And it will come to, from here it will come to copper ring R1. Then from ring R1 to brush B1. Ring R1 to brush B1. From B1, current temperatures comes out and passes through the loop like this. And here enters and passes like this to the coil. Thus, current in the load is from left to right, left side to right side. That is positive half cycle. We will get a voltage like this for first half revolution. In the next half revolution, AB conductor, after rotating half, AB conductor moves under S pole and CD conductor is now coming under N pole. So CD is moving downwards, AB is coming upwards. CD is moving downwards, AB is coming upwards. Therefore, like this, in the next half revolution, AB is coming out upwards and it is under S pole, and CD is moving downwards and it is under N pole. So whenever, whatever may be the conductor, when it is coming under N pole and moving downwards, its current is downwards. Therefore, similarly, whatever may be the conductor, when it comes under S pole and moving upwards, according to Fleming's right hand rule, if you apply induced EMF, will be upwards. Therefore, induced EMF direction, here in AB it is B to A downwards, here it is A to B upwards. Current direction is reversed and current flows like this. And now, whenever we have arranged the coil on the shaft and copper offerings also on the shaft. Now CD is connected to copper ring R2, CD is connected to copper ring R2, AB is connected to copper ring R1. When coil rotates, simultaneously this offerings also rotates along with the coil, because these are also mounted on the same shaft. So if AB is moving onto S pole, this R1 is also moving like this, R2 is moving like this. So R2 is moving like this, R1 is moving from this position to this position like this. So in the next half revolution, R1 goes to this position and R2 goes to this left side, So R2 goes to left side, R1 goes to right side. So as soon as AB and CD conductors move their position, these copper segments, copper rings, half rings also rotates. Therefore, whatever may be the conductor, when it comes under N pole, current direction will be downwards. So it is connected to R2 only. So continuously, conductor CD is connected to R2, conductor AB is connected to R1. Whereas when coil is changing its position from N pole to S pole, when AB conductor is changing its position from N pole to S pole, this offering, its corresponding offering R1 is also going to contact with brush B2. So similarly, whenever CD is moving on to S pole, N pole, its corresponding copper ring also going to brush B1. So along with the coil sides, these copper rings also will rotate. Therefore, now if you see the current direction in the loop, so current passes like this, passes to copper segment R2 and then brush B1 and then to load, then to brush B2, then to copper ring R1, then continues its path. Thus, we have to observe that the direction in the load in the first half revolution is from left to right, and also in the next half revolution also left to right. That is, in the first half revolution we have got this cycle, and second half revolution also we will get this off cycle. So you will get unidirectional current. Both are positive. Both are positive voltages we will get in the load coil. Remember one thing, brushes B1 and B2 are on stationary, they will not move. Brushes B1 and B2 will not move. Only copper rings and coil will move. Copper ring R1 and R2 and coil sides will move. So if you use one coil, you will get these two half cycles. If you use two coils, that is, if these two are the magnets, this is one coil, If you rotate this coil by one revolution, you will get, for half revolution, you will get half cycle. For the other half revolution, you will get one more half cycle. In addition to this coil, you place one more coil like this. Due to this, in this coil also EMF will reduce. You connect, you divide this copper ring into 4 parts. 4 parts like this. 4 parts. So now each coil side will be connected to 4 parts. So all 4 sides of the coils will be connected to 4 commutator segments. In that case, the induced EMF will be at 90 degrees out of phase with the induced EMF in the first coil. Therefore, so it will be like this. You will get induced EMF like this. So resultant of this one, if you see, so I will draw the resultant here. At this, it is 0. From this point onwards, induced EMF increases. So, induced EMF gradually increases, and from this onwards, it will be increased. Again, it decreases. At this point, both are at peak. So, you will get EMF like this, almost constant. If you use 2 coils, you will get almost such type of waveform. If you want to reduce the ripples further, instead of 2 coils, you use number of coils like this. Then almost all EMFs will combinedly will produce a constant DC current. Thus, using split rings and brushes, we can convert AC EMF into DC EMF in case of DC generator. This slip rings and this slip rings arrangement is called as commutator. Commutator. So this is the operation of commutator in DC generator. Commutator converts DC alternating voltage to AC voltage to DC voltage.